Hey everybody, Kelly here coming at you. How's everybody doing today? Just wanted to do a little thing on this solar power slash power stations, and it's funny because there's so many videos out there about, oh, go to Arbor Freight. Well, I suppose if you want to buy something on the cheap, go to Arbor Freight, but you get what you pay for. No disrespect to them, they probably have many good products. I haven't done a lot of shopping there, and maybe the next guy has, and he's had good success with it. But that's not my point. My point is whether you're buying your solar at Arbor Freight or here or there, or whatever, solar's got its place, all right? So you want to start small. You want to power a outdoor light, like a yard light with solar. Take a little baby step, do something small like that that's going to save you electricity over time. Great, do it. You want to start with your biggest item, or let's not say your biggest item, but maybe your necessity item, like a chest freezer. Solar that up. Start small. This is what the Amish do. You can check out their channel. Elias Yoder comes to mind. He's a pretty cool dude. Power a shed with your chest freezer in it, or maybe you got your chest freezer in the basement, so power a portion of your basement, chest freezer, whatever's in that room, right? Or a portion of your basement, maybe 2 or 3 rooms. Start small, get a success, get a win under your belt, and then power another, because this is what the Amish do. They power you see it driving down the highway. They've got a solar panel powering one item. So just do that, and then you can ramp it up from there. And but here's the easy fix, in my opinion. You got a power outage. We've all had it. Sometimes it lasts a couple hours, sometimes longer. We do have a weak power grid, from my understanding, so it could end up being a few days to a few weeks, which would really suck, or maybe longer, who knows. So what you want to do, and my stepdad does this, you have gas cans in your garage or shed or wherever you store them. Don't store them next to somewhere electrical that could cause a fire or an explosion, but somewhere safe. Most people would have a shed or a garage, I'm assuming. Store it someplace safe, have some gas, and if it's going to be stored for any length of time, you might want to add some of that, what is it called, like a stabilizer, so the gas don't go bad. Just a little container. Follow the instructions, put a couple drops or a squirt in there, whatever you need to. Or you could put it in your gas tank of your car if it ain't used by a certain date. I don't know what the expiration date is on gas, but I'm assuming you don't want to store it for maybe over a year. So, but look into that on your own. So have these gas cans, have a generator. You can buy a generator, a gas powered generator at any big box store. Around here we buy it at Menards, but maybe you've got a Home Depot or somewhere you can buy a generator. Buy the size generator that's going to need to power at the moment your house or your farm or whatever it is you're powering. So you're going to have to run a few extension cords. If you know what you're doing, maybe you can hook it into your breaker box to feed your house or whatever. But there are safety things there. So I guess in my mind, if I'm only doing it for a few weeks, I'm not going to go into the box. But you can consult your electrician if you want to go there. Maybe they can put something on there so it don't backfeed the grid. But you don't have to complicate it if you don't want to, but you can if you want to. So you can just do an extension cord into your house, into your necessity, whether that's your chest freezer, and or your office, or whatever your livelihood is, right? If you're working from home, maybe your office is like me, if you got to run your computer, you got to Power up everybody's got a power phone these days, right? So to the main essential places of your house. Maybe that's your refrigerator. Maybe that's, or your kitchen. Maybe that's to power those appliances. Maybe it's in your office. Maybe it's your chest freezer. Maybe your chest freezer's in your basement. So you might have to run 2-3 power cords. Have a generator big enough so it's not going to bog down due to the load of the electricity that you're going to need to power your house or your office or your farm or your work area at any given time. So maybe at 3 o'clock during the day, you've got to power your refrigerator, which probably runs nonstop if you even need a refrigerator. You could get by without a refrigerator if you had to. You could have a root cellar. You can eat rice beans with some oil, with some good quality olive oil or whatever fat you want to put in there. Fruit and veggies are ideal, but do you really need them to get along for a few weeks? This might be survival mode, so you might do rice, beans, and oil. And then you got your root cellar. You can have a row of carrots, row of sand, row of carrots, row of sand, row of carrots. That's what my grandma did back in the day. It's got to be someplace cool and dry. Root cellar. There's different ways to store your food. You can can your food. You can use salt. You can use onions. Will help prevent spoilage. Just study up on it. But that's the food items. We're just talking about more or less power here. And you got to eat. You got to, obviously do some of this stuff. So have your gas generator. Have your gas. Have your extension cords. Have your adapters. You must have them for powering your phone already. Just plug them in, right? And get by. So that's the fast, easy, short explanation to all this. You don't need, oh my God, I suppose you can buy solar and you can buy these, whatever these called, these power units that have batteries in them. You can have all this stuff, but if you got a gas generator and an extension cord, this is what we do on our construction jobs. Yes, you're going to have the noise of a gas generator, but you got to have your power. And when it comes to a chest freezer, you only got to have it plugged in for an hour or two during the day. So run your generator for an hour or two. Your chest freezer will freeze everything. And then by the next day, when it starts to warming up a little bit, run your generator for an hour or two. Make sure your chest freezer, if you need one, for those 2 weeks or whatever it's going to be. I get it. You might have a lot of meat in your chest freezer. Run it for an hour or two and then shut her down. You only need chest freezer. You should only need a chest freezer powered for an hour or two to keep your meat or contents frozen. So there you go. Some really good tips for you. This is Kelly. If you found any value to this video, it's so easy. Someday we'll all have breaker boxes that don't backfeed to the grid, and all this stuff will come around eventually. But for now, this is what you can do. Not have to worry. Generators are fairly inexpensive. Talking a few $100s. You might need to get a thick gauge extension cord depending on how far you got to run, how many linear feet from your generator into your house. So I would suggest maybe a 10 gauge extension cord, something really thick, but there again, know what you're doing so you don't start a cord on fire. Or, that's why you got in a breaker box you've got 20 amp or 15 amp, etc., so your wires don't get too hot and start a house fire. So if you don't know what you're doing, consult an electrician. Reach out to me in the comments. I'll tell you what I know. I'll tell you I'm not an electrician, but I've worked in breaker boxes for putting heaters in on jobs. So I know somewhat what I'm doing. I'm in my 50s now and I'm still alive. So one little tip I can give you is wear leather gloves. Maybe they're not shockproof, but they'll insulate you enough. And then if you have two hands in a breaker box, the electricity can travel through your heart. It can go through one hand, go down into your heart, and come out through the other hand. So if you are able to work one-handed in a breaker box, yeah, you could fry your arm, you could lose your arm, but it most likely will not pass through your heart and connect that circuit and actually kill you. So you just really want to make sure that screwdriver don't slip. And if it slips, it can happen in a second, and it can be deadly. So if you're not at all confident or knowing what you're doing, have an electrician do it. Be safe always, because you can pay an electrician and earn that money back, but you probably won't get another life handed to you. So safety, be legal second, and then from there on out, it's all gravy. So yeah, if you found any value, like, subscribe. Some great advice, I think, and because this has been something I've been mulling over in my head for quite a while. And then, yeah, you can always take those baby steps. So that would be for a power outage. Take some baby steps, setting up your solar power if you want to. I would start small, either with like I said, something a little tiny you want to power, just to kind of test drive. That might be the best way to do it. And then, because if you burn a light out or you cause a fire, then maybe it's outdoors or it's something small so you don't wreck something. And then you can get into more of the needier, bigger stuff, I guess, in my opinion. And then you've got your, like I just explained, your gas power generator for that bigger stuff. Use the right size extension cord. Know your generator. Know as much as you can about it. And you're just plugging it in using power, but there's a 110 and a 240. It's 220. It's not too hard to understand all that stuff, but read the instructions and get some professional help if you need it. But this is Kelly. Talk to you guys later. Share, like, and subscribe. Smash the heck out of that like button. It didn't like you anyway, so hit it. Talk to you later.